Naturally, soundbars are available in their masses to boost the sound performance of your TV. But if you really want the proper home cinema experience, there really is no substitute for a set of surround sound speakers and an AV receiver. The home cinema amplifier is the brains and brawn of any home cinema system and will ensure your TV and films sound powerful, detailed and dynamic and truly give you that immersive experience. The majority of AV receivers now include Dolby Atmos and DTS, X support for adding even more channels of sound, with the addition of height channel speakers, or they can of course play vanilla 5.1 surround sound. Expect HDMI inputs that can pass through 4K and HDR video, with voice assistant support, Bluetooth wireless audio and Apple AirPlay extras on a fair number of models these days. But most of all, the best AV receivers deliver brilliant, room-filling sound. And these are our pick of them, all tried, tested and star-rated in our dedicated testing rooms. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Denon AVC X3700H. When you listen to class-leading products as often as we do, you know immediately when a new standard has been set. That said, sometimes it takes until you have a direct comparison with another superb product to comprehend just how high the bar has been lifted. That is the case with the new 8K-ready Denon AVC X3700H home cinema amplifier. While there may be a small part of us that would delight in the Japanese company messing up one of these amps, purely so we would have something different to write, the sonic improvement it has made on last year's model is quite surprisingly marked. The energy of the performance is immediately striking. There's greater muscle than before, but it is also even more lithe and better defined. It's a combination of solid dynamic expression, which enthuses each vocal line as much as differentiating one gunshot from another, a sharper punch and greater clarity that allows you to get deeper inside the soundtrack and become more immersed. If you have the system to match it with, the AVC X3700H is another Denon effort that will happily last you many years. Sony STR-DN1080. The fact that this was our product of the year for 2 years in a row, and picked up a 4th award in 2020 tells you all you need to know. This hugely talented AV receiver was best in class when we originally tested it at around $650, but now that it has dropped in price it is sensational value for money. And as for the sound it makes, well, let's just say you'll have to spend an awful lot more cash to get better performance. The feature-packed Sony STR-DN1080 sounds fantastic, reaching deep into its reserves to deliver a performance packed with punch, dynamism and authority in a way we haven't heard from home cinema amplifiers at this sort of price. There's an incredible amount of detail, from natural, expressive voices to layers of insight and depth surrounding each sound effect. Dynamically speaking, it's a fun and exciting listen, equally at home rendering tranquil, quiet moments as it is huge, wall-shuddering explosions. In a word, enthralling. Denon AVC X6700H. The 6000 lineage was one of those Denon decided not to upgrade in 2019, waiting until this year to double down on those usually annual improvements. Returning, it has managed to eke out yet more performance and reassess, if not exactly redefine, what is achievable with a $2,000 home cinema amp. It is certainly a more powerful presentation than 2 years ago, not by a huge amount, but enough to notice when you've used the AVC X6500H as much as we have, and this Denon wields that power with great verve and precision. The balance is more bass-heavy than in previous generations too, and some might want to dial a little of that out from time to time, but any extra weight does not slow the AVC X6700H down. It just makes this feel like a more controlled and grown-up performance, with that extra low end working to deliver full and realistic voices as much as it is able to box you around the room when allowed. Denon AVR X2700H. If we had to use one word to describe the sound of this receiver, it would be confident. The AVR X2700H doesn't try too hard to impress, as a nervously underpowered budget amp might. It's bigger, better and more cultured than that. It has even greater authority than last year's model and it never strains to exert it. The two subwoofers in our 7.2 setup growl with control whenever called upon, never once detracting from the crystal clarity of the music in the soundtrack, the voices or surround effects. It's an easy and effective listen. No matter how hectic the action becomes, this Denon never misses a beat. It passes the laser blasts from speaker to speaker in a wonderfully coherent manner and, no matter the scene, creates a genuine sense of place. Yamaha RX-A1080. There are usually a number of safe bets when it comes to Yamaha's premium AV receivers. The build will at least match its price tag, it'll have a whopping great sound field, and there will be more features than a Sunday newspaper. And the RX-A1080 delivers on that front. As well as its range of digital and analog inputs for music sources, Yamaha has endowed the RX-A1080 with built-in streaming services such as Spotify, Tidal, Qobuz and Deezer, as well as providing support for the amp to be controlled by Alexa voice control. The performance is even and well-rounded, offering the same character to an effect that switches across speakers, beginning behind our right shoulder and settling at the front left. It does, however, find itself a step behind the Denon range when it comes to organization, timing and dynamics. Not light years, but behind. Still, if you value a really big sound and generally enjoy Yamaha's sonic signature, it's worth an audition.